What's going on, everyone? Today we've got a very fun video here for you guys. I've wanted to do this for a while. We're going to be covering the blueprint to success within Football Manager. By the way, this isn't just for FM24. This is for basically any FM ever made, including future iterations. So definitely keep all this in mind when you are doing saves. But with that being said, without further ado, let's hop right into today's video. So when I'm wanting to have success in a save, as that is all of our goals, have as much success as possible, win as many trophies as possible, produce as many wonder kids as possible. How do I go about it personally? I like to consider the 5 pillars of success. Those 5 pillars being staff, culture, system, players, and development. And when you can have all those working perfectly together, you are going to be unstoppable as a club. So the first thing we're going to start off with is the staff. I have always been one to preach that staff are a very important part to your club. We see it in reality with Pep Guardiola. He has an incredible staff along with him, Jurgen Klopp, Roberto De Zerbi, or even Jose Mourinho. And in my saves, I'm no different. I want to make sure that my manager is surrounded by the best possible coaching talents possible, because it not only helps coach the team better, but it helps them develop better as well. Whether you end up having former football legends like a Dennis Bergkamp as part of your coaching staff to help teach your players along the way, or you have a coach that has just gotten to an elite level of coaching ability like a Pep and Linders doing the exact same thing, helping to develop your side while also coaching them in every aspect of the game of football. You might not think that having a great staff and the perfect staff, especially with how they kind of go about things, whether they're a model citizen or professional, a perfectionist, that does affect a big time way in how you are having your youth intakes come through, because it will affect how those players are thinking. Because having someone on your staff with the personality of model citizen, either in a coaching role or in a head of youth development role like Colo Torre, they are going to help make sure that your players are thinking on a way different scale than a bunch of other players. Because having a model citizen player means a majority of the time they're going to end up being fantastic players. So that is where that first pillar comes in with the staff. Make sure that you have the best staff built out possible for your club, because it's going to ensure success for years and years to come, even though it might just be a very small part in that success. Next up, we're going to be talking about culture at the club. This is something that you need to decide what you kind of want the club culture to center around. And for some influence, these are the ones that I definitely kind of recommend looking into. Definitely take a look at the likes of Arne Slot and what he's done at Feyenoord, Ruben Amorim at Sporting, Jose Mourinho throughout his entire career, Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid, or even club cultures in general, like Manchester United, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Liverpool. You don't necessarily want to be exactly like all these examples, but you want to kind of take little pieces from each one to create your own culture at your club, to instill just a all for one for all type mentality. You want to make sure that you have players at your club that really don't want to leave. They want to play with you for their entirety of their career. Or you have players that are willing to go through a wall for you, kind of like Wesley Sneijder was for Jose Mourinho when he was at Inter Milan. An example of it for me in my save is my goalkeeper currently at Lazio, Ivan Provedel. This is a goalkeeper that I basically want here until he ends up retiring. Kind of like my own Gigi Buffon. He does exactly what I need him to do. He is part of the spine of my side, and I know whatever I need him to do, big saves, major impacts, being a leader, he's going to be able to do all of it. And when you're able to have more than just one player that kind of fits that bill for you of they are the club, a perfect player to kind of showcase what I am talking about is that of Francesco Totti when he played at AS Roma. He was there his entire career, basically. He was a legend of the game in that city, and no one really thought he would ever leave until he did when he retired. You're going to want to instill that type of mentality within your players. Basically call it the Totsi mentality. You want them to stay at your club and play for you for their entirety of their career. And if not, you at least want that player to have some effect on some players within your side, causing them to basically do the same, like Totti did with De Rossi, which De Rossi is now even the manager at AS Roma. But now we're going to talk about one of the most important parts in a blueprint to success. That is your system, your tactical system, your formation, what you are utilizing game in, game out, or at least tinkering with game in, game out. You want something that fits your personal style, but also fits the players that you have at your disposal. And when we're thinking of tactical systems, think of the likes of Ajax, Barcelona, Red Bull, any of those teams. Or managerial-wise, the likes of Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, Gasperini, Antonio Conte, Diego Simeone. They all have systems instilled with their sides. You know how they're going to play, you know how they're going to tinker, and you know that it's always going to get the best and most out of the players that they have at their disposal. When you're creating your tactic, obviously have your own personal pizzazz to it in a way, but feel free to kind of get some inspiration from the FM community within whatever tactics might be out there, or take some inspiration from real life managers as well. Kind of like what I have done in my most recent tactic, which we see on screen right now. I took kind of my tactical philosophies, mixed it with Ruben Amorim's of Sporting in Portugal, as well as Pep's with Man City, and this is kind of what I came up with. It's a lot of fun to use, it's very, very good, and it does exactly what I need it to do and want it to do. But it's important to not just only instill the system at the senior club level, but throughout the ranks at your club as well. So your U23s, U21s, U19s, U18s as well. Because once you do that, you can plug in those youth products right into the first team. They won't skip a beat. Yes, they obviously won't be up to that ability level of your senior level players, but in case of an injury crisis, you can plug them in and know that they know exactly what to do within the system. One of the most important things with the system, though, as well as culture, is making sure that you have the right players for that system. That is what we are going to be going over now. When you think of some of the best and most unique players, you think of the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jude Bellingham, Toni Kroos, Nicole Barella, or even Florian Wirtz. You can focus your side around youth like an Ajax does, or you can focus your side around youth and experience, kind of like what Jose Mourinho did throughout his entire career, especially at Inter Milan. And myself I'm doing now at Lazio, I've kind of put Jose's philosophy with the culture and player recruitment to fruition with this side. I've got youth and I've got veteran leadership throughout it. Now, I'm not just only focusing on the now, I'm focusing on that being part of the future as well. Because I've got elite veterans coming in like Bruno Fernandes, plus Andy Robertson as well, but I'm also making sure to focus on the youth by bringing in players like Jacob Napoleon Romsas and some new gens as well. And this isn't the only club that I have brought success to by kind of following the 5 pillars of success for within the save, as I was at a club previous to this as well. I was at Tromsø in Norway, and then I ended up winning 2 cups with them by doing it the Ajax way. But once upon joining Lazio, I won the league in my first season there by going about it the Jose Mourinho way. So making sure that you have a vision for kind of what players you are going to want with your sides is definitely going to have an impact on success that you end up having. And one very important thing that I kind of abide by with building every single side that I do within a save is this one thing. You need to have a strong spine with your side. What is the spine? It is your striker, a midfielder, a center back, and your goalkeeper. You need to have one player in each of those areas that you trust emphatically with their ability, their mental ability, their physical ability, that you know they're always going to get the job done for you. Whether that be goal scoring ability wise, creative ability wise, or even just as a leader. And that last and final pillar is probably the most important in regards to your future at your club. It's the development one. Now, when we talk about development, we usually like to talk about those clubs that produce big time talents over the years. Those being like Ajax, Barcelona, Man United, Liverpool, or even Real Madrid. But also kind of look to league systems that produce those top level talents as well, or even national teams. Look to the likes of the French leagues, the German leagues, Italian, Belgian, and Portuguese. You see top level talents from all of those leagues strewn out all throughout Europe at the highest level clubs. All those clubs and those leagues follow the 5 pillars of success as well. They make sure they have the perfect staff to help coach and develop the players. They make sure that they have the right culture instilled as well, so everyone is always on the same page, moving in the same direction. They also make sure to have the perfect tactical system in place because they want to make sure that the players are comfortable with it. And when it comes to the player recruitment, they always make sure that they are having the correct players come into those systems, that they aren't forcing anyone to do anything that they aren't going to be uncomfortable with, because then they aren't going to get the best out of that player. But when it comes to the development pillar, this is 100% probably the most trickiest one to go about, because you don't know sometimes whether to immediately loan a player out because you know they're going to be pretty high potential. You want to get them growing as soon as possible, or if you want them training with the first team, maybe getting them some games as well, or just letting them dominate at the U19 or U21 levels. It will 100% depend on a case-by-case basis, but if you do end up loaning them out, you want to make sure that they are in the best, I guess, club scenarios possible, so that they're either helping a club push for promotion, helping them kind of stay up from relegation so that they kind of feel that pressure a little bit while developing as well, or that they're at a club with great training facilities so that you know the entire time they're there, they're going to be improving no matter what. So definitely make sure if you are loaning out players that you do try and target the likes of Portugal and Belgium, especially as they are hotbeds for growing young talent. And as an example of Belgium producing that young talent, here is one in my Lazio save, Benoni de Bont, who is absolutely fantastic, probably going to be one of the best strikers in the world. So when it comes to the blueprint of success, there is a lot that goes into it, a lot of time and dedication that goes into it as well, because I know a lot of us do like lengthy FM saves. But if you're following those 5 pillars of success, you're going to be winning trophy after trophy after trophy at your clubs. So there we have it. If you have enjoyed today's video, please feel free, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit that sub button? Let me know down in the comments down below what you guys like to do when it comes to your own version of the pillars of success, how you go about player recruitment, or how you go about creating your own culture and systems. But before you do go, if you'd like to keep on binge watching videos here on the channel, I'll be popping up a video on screen right now, which is my most recent tactic video that I put out for you all. And until next time, everyone, have a good one. Bye-bye.